A warm welcome to one and all, dear friends. Myself, Dr. Rashmi Joshi Savalkar, Assistant Professor, Department of Zoology, Sri Aralti College of Science, Kolkata. Today, I am here to deliver my lecture on digestive system of cockroach, which is from our syllabus, semester 1 and unit 4. So let's see what are the digestive organs in cockroach or in phylum Arthropoda. See the diagram here given. The left diagram on this slide is the pencil sketch and the right diagram is colorfully labeled, well labeled diagram. Okay, see here the complete digestive system from mouth to anus. First, I want to explain you that as we have studied the general characters of phylum Arthropoda, we have seen that every system is well developed in this phylum. In this, the species found which belong to phylum Arthropoda shows every system well developed. So digestive system is also well developed from mouth to anus. Complete alimentary tract is seen, and other accessory organs of digestion are also seen as the salivary glands here, lobes of salivary glands. Here the gizzard is there and with teeth are present. Crop is there, which is reservoir. Hepatic cecum are there, which secretes some secretion which helps in digestion. Then these are the Malpighian tubules. Then this is the hindgut. This is rectum. This is last opening, that is anus. So this is the colorful diagram. So let's see one by one the organs of digestion in cockroach. So friends, this is the digestive system of cockroach. The digestive system which is responsible for digestion and absorption of food materials includes digestive canal or tract and digestive glands. So the complete system is divided into two parts, that is digestive canal or digestive tract and the digestive glands. So first, that is the digestive tract or canal. The tract is about 6.7 centimeter in length. The complete length from mouth to anus is about 6.7 centimeter in length. It is divisible into three distinct regions: the foregut, the midgut, and the hindgut. So this mouth to crop region or gizzard region, it is the foregut. From gizzard to up to Malpighian tubules, it is the midgut, and from onwards Malpighian tubules to the anus, this is the hindgut portion. So the complete digestive tract or canal is divided into these three parts: foregut, midgut, and hindgut. The second part of digestive system is the digestive glands, and those glands are the salivary apparatus or salivary glands in cockroach. So now, alimentary canal of cockroach digestive system. The alimentary canal starts from mouth and it consists of the pre-oral cavity, pharynx, esophagus, crop and gizzard, forming the foregut or stomodium. See, as I have explained you in the previous slide, that from mouth to the gizzard region, this first portion, this anterior portion of the tract is called as foregut or stomodium. It is also called as stomodium. So which consists of mouth, preoral cavity, pharynx, esophagus, this crop and this gizzard. This triangular funnel like portion is gizzard. So from mouth to gizzard, the portion is called as foregut. The mesenteron forming the midgut and the ileum, colon and rectum constituting the hindgut or proctodium. The hindgut is called as proctodium, foregut is called as stomodium, and the mesenteron forming the midgut, and the middle portion of midgut is called as mesenteron. The hindgut or proctodium, the stomodium and proctodium are ectodermal. So the foregut and hindgut are ectodermal in origin, while the ectodermal in origin and lined internally by the continuation of the exoskeleton cuticle, while the mesenteron is endodermal in origin. The middle portion or the midgut is endodermal in origin, while the foregut and hindgut are ectodermal in origin, which are lined internally by exoskeletal cuticle, endodermal in origin and without cuticular linings. Okay. Now we will see the first part of alimentary tract, that is the foregut. The so-called mouth is situated at the base of preoral cavity, at the base of preoral cavity or buccal chamber, also known as Sibarium or Sibarium. The buccal chamber is a space in front of the mouth into which the food is received. See, here the head region is there, and below the head region, the mouth parts are present. So that opening is called as mouth or oral cavity or the buccal chamber. The cavity is bounded in front by the labrum, posteriorly by the labium, and on each side by the mandibles and a maxilla. These all are the mouth parts that we will see in the last slide of this lecture. So just I have mentioned here, but I will explain in the last. Inside this cavity, a large tongue-like hypopharynx is present. The mouth opens behind into a short tubular pharynx. See here, the mouth opens behind into a short tubular pharynx here, which tubular pharynx which passes vertically upwards, then it bends backward into an esophagus. Vertically upwards, then it bends backward into the esophagus. The esophagus is a narrow tubular passage which passes through the neck and gradually expands in the thorax, finally taking the shape of sac-like structure in abdomen. This sac-like structure is the crop. This esophagus leads in forward direction, in posterior direction, and forms a bulgy balloon-like structure which is called as crop, which is commonly called as reservoir, which stores the food here. This sac-like structure is called crop, which is thin-walled and muscular. The crop is followed by a gizzard or proventriculus. This triangular portion is the gizzard or proventriculus. It is also called as proventriculus. So, crop is followed by gizzard. These are the complete organs of foregut. Now, let's see the structure of gizzard here. That is this triangular portion, gizzard. A short note on this part is asked many times for 4 marks in the examination. So let's see what is gizzard. It is a round, thick-walled, bulb-like structure. It has an outer thick layer of circular muscles and its lumen gets considerably reduced due to the infolding of its wall. See, these are the infoldings of the wall, and this is the central lumen of the gizzard. The gizzard can be divided into anterior armarium and posterior stomodeal valve. So, armarium and stomodeal valve are seen in the gizzard region. The cuticular lining of armarium is thickened to form 6 highly chitinized plates called teeth. These are the teeth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 6 teeth are present, and these are present in the armarium region, which is the uppermost part of the gizzard. Behind the teeth, there are thin, less chitinized plates which were cushion-like pads covered with backwardly directed bristles. So these are the bristles and cushion-like pads which are called as longitudinal grooves. The deep grooves are also provided with fine bristles. The teeth help in grinding the food. See, as the food comes in the reservoir or crop, here the food is stored. After storing this food, as per the requirement of the body, the food is passed through this gizzard, which shows the presence of valve. So, backflow of that food is maintained here due to the presence of those valves. And in this gizzard, the food is crushed. The teeth help in grinding the food, while bristles help in straining the food to allow only well crushed food to pass on. The hind part of the gizzard projects into a midgut as a funnel called stomodeal valve. Here, the stomodeal valve is present, which prevents the passage of food from midgut into the gizzard. Now, the midgut portion. This was all about the foregut portion. Till gizzard, the foregut is seen, and after gizzard, the midgut portion starts. So let's see. This is the crop. Now see here the structure or LS of foregut and anterior part of midgut. So this is the joining where foregut ends and the midgut starts. So let's see. The gizzard is followed by a narrow tube of uniform diameter presenting the midgut or mesenteron. See here the stomodial valve. Here the stomodial valve is present, which prevents the backflow of digested food, backflow of grinded food into the foregut. So the flow is unidirectional, which is into the forward direction or into the posterior direction. From foregut, the food is propelled or proceed out into the midgut region. So stomodial valve, here the midgut is there. See here, this is the esophagus, cuticular lining, then this is the crop or reservoir, then cuticular teeth are present here. See, these teeth are present here. This is the gizzard, this is the gizzard portion. Enteric cecum are there or gastric cecum are there. So this is all about the midgut portion. Its junctional region with the gizzard, which actually surrounds the stomodial valve, is called cardia. From this region arise 8 finger-like tubular blind processes called as hepatic ceca. 8 means 4 pairs of hepatic cecum, or total number of hepatic cecum are 8 in number. So 8 hepatic ceca or enteric ceca or mesenteric ceca. See the terminologies used for this gastric cecum are hepatic ceca, enteric ceca or mesenteric ceca. A midgut is formed of tall columnar endodermal cells which are glandular in nature. The internal lining of the midgut is thrown out into small but several folds forming villi and covered by a very thin layer of transparent peritrophic membrane. So the internal lining of the midgut forms a transparent thin layered peritrophic membrane. The peritrophic membrane is secreted by the anterior end of the cardia. Cardia means this stomodial valve. So at the this turning or this fold, the cells secrete the peritrophic membrane. So this peritrophic membrane covers the complete food which is grinded here and propels out into the forward direction, into the posterior direction, that is into the midgut portion. So the peritrophic membrane is covered here at the junction of this stomodial valve and midgut. So the peritrophic membrane is secreted by these internal lining of the uh, uh, stomodial valve region or the cardia. The peritrophic membrane is secreted by the anterior end of the cardia and it is permeable for enzymes, which is the permeable membrane. That means all the enzymes which are secreted can be mixed into the food through this. The permeability is there, so the enzymes can enter or exit from this peritrophic membrane and mix with the food material. Enzymes and for the end products of digestion. It also protects the wall of midgut as the crushed food is there, but to protect the internal lining of the midgut region, this peritrophic membrane helps. The process of digestion is completed in this region of the alimentary canal and the digested food is also absorbed in it. So this is all about the midgut region. Some more points are there. The gizzard is followed by a narrow tube of uniform diameter presenting the midgut or mesenteron. From this region arises 8 finger-like tubular blind structures. Common duct, the process of digestion completed in this region. Now the next part is the hindgut. So in this hindgut, the third part of alimentary tract. Till now we have seen the foregut and midgut region. Now it is the hindgut region. So let's see. It is divisible into following parts: ileum, colon, rectum, and anus. See here, these are the Malpighian tubules. These are all 8 gastric cecum which are present below the gizzard. So from gastric cecum to Malpighian tubules, the middle portion is the midgut region or mesenteron. Onwards, here onwards, that after Malpighian tubules, the structure which is seen here up to the last opening, that is anus, from Malpighian tubule to anus, the portion is called as hindgut, which is divided into 3 parts. First one is ileum, second is colon, and third one is rectum, and then lastly it opens through the anus. So let's see. It is divisible into following parts: ileum, colon, rectum, and anus. The ileum is the first part of the hindgut that has small, narrow lumen having epithelial lining. The ileum leads to colon, which is broad and slightly coiled. See here, this is the small, narrow tubular structure which joins the midgut and the hindgut is the ileum. The inner lining of colon is thrown into irregular folds. The inner lining of colon, internal lining of this colon, uh, is thrown into irregular folds and is formed by slender epithelial cells having a chitinous covering. The colon continues into a small sac-like rectum. The colon continues into a small, this sac-like rectum. The inner wall of the rectum is raised in the form of papillae. Now, the special kinds of glands called rectal glands are present in the rectal wall for absorbing water. Thus, the rectum not only stores the residual parts of the food but also helps in osmoregulation. The rectum opens to the exterior through the opening called the anus. The anus is provided with a sphincter muscles for opening and closing of that organ or of that opening. It is guarded by the sphinctered muscles. So now the next part of the digestive system is the digestive glands or accessory glands. So the digestive glands here are the salivary glands. See the diagram here. This is the hypopharynx. From this hypopharynx, the efferent salivary duct is seen. This is the small tubular narrow common duct of glands, common duct of reservoirs. This is the common duct of reservoir. This is the common duct of glands. These are leaf-like structures which are the salivary glands, and these two are bulgy yellow colored receptacles of reservoirs. The secretion of these salivary glands is poured into these two reservoirs and stored here into these two reservoirs. So let's see the salivary glands, the inner lining of midgut and hepatic ceca are the digestive glands of cockroach. A pair of salivary glands lies one on each side of the thoracic cavity. Each gland consists of two leaf-like diffused lobes and a reservoir. The secretory lobes, reservoirs, and their ducts together constitute the salivary apparatus. All these glands and all these organs togetherly forms the salivary apparatus. The lobes of the salivary gland open within the reservoir. From each reservoir, a salivary duct runs anteriorly. So this is all about the digestive glands. Again, I want to tell you that on this topic also, that is the digestive glands or salivary glands of cockroach, again 4 marks of short note is asked in examination. So this diagram is required there and all this explanation you should give there so that you will score all the 4 out of 4 marks. So this is the pencil sketch diagram of the salivary gland here. The salivary ducts of two sides unite to form a common duct. The salivary ducts. These two salivary ducts unite to form a common salivary duct which runs along the esophagus. See, it unite here and runs along with the esophagus to open into the pharynx, which opens into this pharynx and near the base of hypopharynx Each lobe of salivary gland is made up of secretory acini. In these salivary glands, secretory acini are present, which are made up of two types of cells. Cells which are packed with secretory granules, cells with an intracellular duct lined by chitin with numerous microvilli. So these two cells are present in these two salivary glands, pair of salivary glands here. These cells have very little secretory granules but abundant mitochondria. See, secretory granules are less here but abundant mitochondria are seen. Pores, endoplasmic reticulum and vesicular bodies. These things are present in this secretion. Abundant mitochondria, secretory granules, pores, endoplasmic reticulum and vesicular bodies. The internal lining of the midgut and the hepatic ceca also produce digestive juices. So this is all about the salivary apparatus or salivary glands in cockroach. Now, Food and feeding in cockroach. We have studied till now all the organs of digestion, the complete alimentary tract, and the accessory organs of digestion, that is salivary glands. Now, through this system, how the food and feeding in cockroach takes place. Let's see. As referred earlier, cockroach is omnivorous. It feeds on every type of animal and plant materials, though it prefers to feed on sugary and starchy substances, but tastes almost everything it comes across. The presence of food is detected by the sensory receptors present on the antennae and maxillary palps. The maxillae pick up and bring food to the mandibles for mastication. During the act of mastication, the teeth of the mandibles bite and chew the food. So the mouth parts here are chewing and biting type of mouth parts in the cockroaches. The labrum and labium work like lips to prevent the loss of food. Labrum and labium, upper lip and lower lip, these are the names here. Work like lips to prevent the loss of food from the mandibles. Mandibles means jaws at the time of mastication. The chewed food is pushed into the preoral cavity by maxillae, prostheca of mandibles, and labium, from where it is swallowed into the mouth. The function of hypopharynx is not certain in this connection. So friends, this was all about the digestive system or digestive tract, salivary glands, and how the food and feeding takes place in cockroaches or in the insects. So this was all about digestive system. Hope you all understood it properly. If any query to you, please ask me. Thank you. Thank you, friends. Thank you once again.